Hello and welcome to my magical chamber. I am the Soul Enchantress, and today I'm actually going to delve into a question that I am frequently asked by my clients and people I come in contact with, and that is, what is it like being a cosmic channeler? So I just wanted to give you an idea of what it's like for me to be me and to do what I do. So without further ado, I will get started, and in front of you is a protection talisman that I use, as well as two clear quartz points, but one of the crystals is actually a Lemurian, which seems to be my favorite type of crystal. Okay, so a channel is defined as someone who has the ability to allow whole forces of consciousness to come through. So it is the soul, or a galactic energy, or a cosmic energy, or something whole. And a medium usually channels a personality or a strand of that whole. So most channelers can be mediums, and they just choose to do different work. But in terms of what it is like for me to be a channel is all I'm going to speak about, because I'm going to speak from my experience, not anything from a collective perspective of what is out there, because I don't really do research, as you know. I usually channel my messages. Okay, so for me, when I access cosmic consciousness, and especially, I will give you examples, especially in, say, a light language session that I am channeling for a client, I can literally feel the energy that flows through me as I give it voice, or if I'm writing a script of light language. I can feel the energy course through me. If I'm writing, I can feel it course through me and out to the pen and through the pen. I can, when I'm channeling the light language sessions and I start to give voice and speak in languages and tongues and make sounds that I normally cannot, I can sense the energy flowing. I get a sense of what it is about, but I cannot physically understand what it is that I am saying. But at the same time, I can have my own thoughts. I can communicate with the energy that's coming through. I can have my own thoughts, but when I'm doing a light language session, I cannot interrupt the flow of that energy. So and I actually create a lot of hand gestures when I do light language sessions. I can actually think, can I move my hands down if I am in front of a client and I'm actually gesturing, say, towards their facial area? I go, should I move my hands down towards their heart area or solar plexus or whatever it is, or their feet? I can think it, but if the energy doesn't want to move there, I cannot physically move my hands while that energy is going through. I can think it. I can think, oh, I forgot to tell the client to maybe close their eyes if they wanted to, but I cannot physically speak it and tell them when that energy and that voice is coming through me. That is how it feels like when I do light language sessions. My hands, my body, it all moves on its own accord. The gestures I make, I cannot do them that fast, or sometimes attain the pitch of voice that I do in my conscious everyday life. I am not unconscious. I am not trance channeling where I'm losing myself and stepping out of my body. I am very much conscious. I'm very much present, but I'm allowing the energy to flow through me. That is what it feels like when I do light language sessions, whether it's script writing or speaking or gesturing, or all three. And when I do sacred sound meditations for clients, and I may be using one of my sacred tools, which could be a cymbal or a rattle or a singing bowl, whatever. Once the energy flows through me, and it is to activate whatever it is that the client needs, I can literally feel the energy course through my fingers and my hands as I play the tools, but I cannot control the tempo. It moves off its own accord. It creates the sound it needs to. And the validity of this is the feedback I receive from my clients, who actually are astounded by the effects it has on their body and their emotional auric fields and psyche. What's another? The other form of channeling that I do very often is to actually channel messages. So, for example, I could go into my zone, literally sit there with a pen and paper, and I will channel the messages to any question that I want to ask. So I usually like to say the cosmic consciousness is actually my go-to, as opposed to it being Google or a web search. I literally will channel any information that I want answers to, and that courses through the writing that I do. I also channel when I cast divinations, so very often, or actually almost always, when even if I do a tarot reading or I use any kind of divination tool, it doesn't matter. But most of the time I will actually use the cards or any of the tools of divination literally for something for the client to look at, because information that comes through as I start to speak is sometimes not related to the meaning of the cards. I actually channel information. I am shown images, symbols, I hear things, I feel things, and I say things. And it's the same, similar to the light language session, where I'm actually speaking, but I am thinking, how do I know this? Or why am I saying this? And later on, my client would come back to me and tell me that that was a very profound insight that I gave them, or that I picked up on something I couldn't possibly have known. So that is all part of channeling. It is not me. I am simply and purely a conduit for cosmic energy, and I am totally and truly blessed to have these gifts and for them to keep growing and increasing, and to be able to help people. It changes the way you look at the world, the way you do things, the way you live, and it helps you to show others that there is so much more to their life and your life than the 3D reality that you come to know as life, and you might get embedded in the day-to-day stresses. But once you understand what cosmic consciousness is, you actually look at things from a very far away perspective, that your daily life and its intricacies and its challenges are really trivial, because it is just a tiny pin dot in the total realm of consciousness. And also the other thing you come to understand is time, that time exists in all its forms, all that's ever been, all that is, and all that ever will be. It's all accessible, it's all now, and it's all one huge melding pot of energy, and all you need to do is just be able to access it. So I hope that has been helpful, and if you've got any questions, please email me. My details are in the description box below. That is the easiest way to communicate, and I wish you much joy and luck. And as always, if I can help you with an intuitive session or an enchantment, a sacred sound meditation, or light language session, please, I would love to hear from you. Joyous blessings.